In the spring of 2026, I received a request. A Swiss family of 9. My first time guiding on Teshima. Honestly, I was terrified. The bus might be full. The ferry might be full. Everything was maybe, and the answers I'd have to find myself, based on advice from a fellow guide. I looked into a different ferry route departing from Honmura port on Naoshima. When I called the ferry company, the staff member said that day dozens of passengers will be getting off at Honmura. You should be fine. With those words, something lifted from my shoulders. I kept preparing, in case the island bus was full. I came to Teshima alone and cycled around the entire island. The steepness of the hills, the distance to the museum, where to rest, I checked everything myself. The answers had to live in my own body. That was my way. On the day itself, the bus from Naoshima filled up quickly. As we neared Honmura port, the first of my guests stepped off without paying. I'll pay, I called out from the back. The driver turned around. His expression wasn't quite anger, more like exasperation. That's fare evasion, you know. My guests had no idea what was happening. I bowed deeply and repeatedly. So this, I thought, is what it means to be a guide. At Iura port on Teshima, the island bus was already full exactly as I'd feared. While checking their bags at the luggage counter, the guests noticed a row of bicycles near the port. Ari, can we rent those? Things were going exactly as I'd planned. Of course, it can go. Among the family was a boy just a year older than my own son with clear, eyes that reminded me of a young Edward Furlong. The moment he found out they could rent the bikes, he came running toward me with one hand raised. A high five. His palm hit mine. A clean, bright sound. His joy was faster than any language. No English, no Japanese needed. 9 bicycles set off down the island road. The sea breeze picked up. The hill began to slope downwards. And then the boy let go of the handlebars. Both arms raised to the sky, he began coasting down the hill. That's illegal. Before I knew it, I was shouting. No time to choose words, no time to think. I just yelled. Then his older brother picked up speed without even pedaling, and sailed clean past the bicycle parking area of the Teshima Art Museum. Stop. In the quiet of Teshima's spring morning, my voice was the only sound. Far down the road, the brother finally braked to a stop. He turned around with a sheepish look, but also unmistakably a hint of pride. The guests burst out laughing, and I had no choice but to laugh too. Something shifted. The children, who had been so boisterous, fell silent. The parents slowed their steps. No one spoke. The white concrete curves reached toward the sky. Inside, light poured through the openings in the ceiling, and tiny droplets of water welled up silently across the floor. Gathering, flowing, meeting. Without anyone noticing, the 9 guests had become part of the artwork itself. No words needed, or so I thought. After a while, Edward's mother quietly appeared at my side. She wanted to discuss lunch. I responded. She responded. Before I realized it, we were deep in conversation. "Excuse me, sound carries in here." A staff member's voice cut through the silence. For the second time that day, I was scolded. I slipped outside ahead of the guests and took out my phone. Teshima Factory. a restaurant on the island. The website had been clear groups of 10 or more. Require a reservation by the day before. I hadn't made one. I hadn't been able to. It was a long shot. It's fine. Please come. I closed my eyes. When the guests emerged, Edward's mother came straight to me. I told her. Her face lit up and she looked me in the eyes. You are our new hero. Getting lunch for 10 people just like that. I laughed and came just a little bit close to tears. At the restaurant, the lunch menu offered only fish, as the mother looked over the menu with a worried expression. Edward went straight to a foreign staff member and asked directly, could they make sandwiches from their morning menu? Double the usual portion? The staff member nodded without hesitation. Teshima wasn't only warm inside the museum. The port, the roads, the restaurant. The whole island had a way of welcoming people. It was then, for the first time, that I truly understood it not with my mind, but with my whole body. After lunch, the children grabbed their bikes and rode off into the island. The adults made their way to the Teshima Yoku house. The island gave each of them their own afternoon. On the ferry home, Teshima slowly disappeared into the haze. The hill with the white museum, the slope, first, the bicycle parking area, all of it fading quietly. At Okama Station's Shinkansen platform, I stood facing the family one last time. The parents offered their thanks. And then Edward turned back. He was already walking toward the doors. But he looked over his shoulder one more time. No words. Just a wave. That smile, open, direct, and clear. The doors closed. I stood alone on the platform. I had been part of just one day of a Swiss family's journey through Japan, but that one day had become, inside me, a very long story.